NASA just found a planet so huge it makes Jupiter look small. And this giant world is almost 9 times heavier than Jupiter, and it's still growing around a young star. But here's the crazy part. It isn't forming the way scientists thought planets should. That single discovery could change what we know about how worlds are born. Before we go deeper, tell me what country you're watching from. Now let's see why this strange planet has astronomers around the world so excited. That excitement starts with one young star sitting about 531 light years away from Earth. Its name is AB Aurigae, and it doesn't look calm at all. Thick clouds of gas and dust race around it every second. Those clouds aren't just floating through space, they are feeding the growing star while also building the worlds that will one day circle it. Think of it like a giant space workshop where everything is still under construction. Using NASA's Hubble Space Telescope and the Subaru telescope, astronomers looked through those dusty clouds and found something they never expected to see so clearly. Hidden inside was a huge planet still being born. They named it AB Aurigae b, and almost every detail about it grabbed their attention. To understand why this matters, we first have to compare it with something we already know. Jupiter is the biggest planet in our solar system. More than 1 in 300 Earths could fit inside it. It is so massive that all the other planets put together still cannot match its weight. For a long time, Jupiter seemed almost impossible to beat. Then AB Aurigae b entered the picture. This giant planet has about 9 times the mass of Jupiter. Just imagine standing beside something that huge. Even though it is still forming, it already looks like one of the biggest planets ever discovered. That alone would have made headlines. But the surprises were only getting started. Distance is another reason this world stands out. Earth travels around the sun once every year because our planet sits at just the right distance. Jupiter needs almost 12 years to finish one trip around the sun. AB Aurigae b is much farther from its star than Jupiter is from ours. It circles its young sun at about 93, 9 times the distance between Earth and the sun. Because of that huge gap, 1 year on AB Aurigae b lasts almost 588 Earth years. That means if someone had been born there when the first European settlers reached North America, they still would not have celebrated their first birthday today. It is almost impossible to picture time moving that slowly. Even more amazing, the star itself is incredibly young. Scientists believe AB Aurigae is less than 5 million years old. Our own sun is about 6 billion years old. Compared with the sun, this star is practically a newborn. That gives astronomers a rare chance to watch a giant planet while it is still taking shape instead of trying to guess how it formed long after the process ended. At first, this looked like another exciting planet discovery. The more scientists studied the data, though, the stranger the picture became. Size was no longer the biggest surprise. Something about the way this giant world was growing simply didn't fit the rules that astronomers had trusted for years. That unexpected clue would soon force scientists to ask a question nobody thought they would need to ask. What if giant planets can grow in more than one way? For years, astronomers believed they already knew the answer. The most accepted idea says tiny pieces of dust crash into each other inside a young star's disk. Those bits slowly stick together, turning into rocks. The rocks become larger and larger until they build a solid core. Once that core grows big enough, it starts pulling in huge amounts of gas. After millions of years, a gas giant like Jupiter is born. It is a slow process, but it matches what scientists believe happened in our own solar system. AB Aurigae b refuses to follow that story. Instead of growing little by little, this giant seems to be taking a much faster path. The thick ring of gas around its young star appears to have become so heavy that part of it collapsed under its own gravity. Imagine a rain cloud becoming so thick that it suddenly falls all at once, instead of dropping one raindrop at a time. That is close to what astronomers think happened here. If that idea is correct, this planet was not built piece by piece. It formed from a giant pocket of gas that quickly folded in on itself. That single difference changes everything. Scientists have talked about this kind of planet formation for years, but clear evidence has been hard to find. Now they may finally be watching it happen with their own telescopes. Instead of only reading clues left behind billions of years later, they are looking at a planet while it is still growing. That makes this discovery far bigger than one giant world. It suggests the universe may have more than one way to build planets. Some systems could grow slowly like ours. Others might create huge planets almost overnight on a cosmic clock. If both paths are real, then the number of strange solar systems across the Milky Way could be far greater than anyone expected. By the way, if you're enjoying this journey through space, hit the subscribe button now because the next discovery is even harder to believe, and you won't want to miss it. The biggest surprise is that AB Aurigae b may not even hold the record for the largest planet ever found. As incredible as 9 Jupiter sounds, another mysterious object has kept astronomers arguing for years. Back in 2005, scientists spotted a huge object called GQ Loopy b. It circles a young star much farther away than Pluto is from our sun. Ever since its discovery, experts have struggled to decide exactly what it is. Some believe it is a giant planet. Others think it is a brown dwarf, a strange object that sits between a planet and a star. No matter which answer proves right, one thing is clear. The deeper astronomers look into space, the more the universe refuses to follow the rules we once believed were true. That brings us to an even bigger question. If AB Aurigae b is not the largest planet ever found, then what is? The answer is not simple. GQ Loopy b has kept scientists arguing ever since it was discovered in 2005. It circles a very young star at an incredible distance, more than twice as far from its star as Pluto is from our Sun. Its size is so extreme that some researchers call it a planet, while others believe it is actually a brown dwarf. A brown dwarf is too big to be called a normal planet, but too small to shine like a true star. That tiny difference matters. If GQ Loopy b is finally confirmed as a planet, it could become the largest planet ever discovered. Its radius is about 3.5 times larger than Jupiter's. Just trying to picture a world that huge is almost impossible. Yet space keeps reminding us that our imagination is often too small. Then something even stranger happens. Once you compare giant planets, you naturally start asking about giant stars. That is where the numbers stop making sense. The biggest known star is called UY Scuti. Its radius is about 7,100 times larger than our Sun. If someone could place UY Scuti in the middle of our solar system, its outer edge would stretch far beyond the orbit of Jupiter. The gas flowing away from the star would reach even farther, passing the orbit of Pluto. Now think about that for a second. Everything inside that huge space, including Earth, Mars, and Jupiter, would disappear inside one star. The solar system we know would look tiny compared with this single giant. You might think nothing could beat that. But stars are not the biggest monsters in space. At the center of some galaxies hide supermassive black holes. These objects squeeze huge amounts of matter into an unbelievably small space. Their gravity becomes so strong that not even light can escape. One of the largest ever discovered is called TON 618. Scientists estimate it has a mass equal to about 66 billion suns. That number is almost impossible to understand. If giant stars make planets look small, then TON 618 makes giant stars seem tiny. It sits at the center of a distant galaxy, quietly pulling everything around it with a force beyond human experience. As if that were not enough, astronomers made another shocking discovery in 2010. Using NASA's Fermi Space Telescope, they found two enormous bubbles rising above and below the center of the Milky Way. Each one stretches about 25,000 light years into space. Scientists believe they may have formed after our galaxy's central black hole released an unbelievable amount of energy. Suddenly, even the biggest planet ever found no longer feels like the main story. It becomes just one piece of a universe that keeps growing larger, stranger, and far more mysterious every time we look deeper into the darkness. One of the strangest places scientists have ever found is almost completely empty. It is called the Eridanus supervoid, and it stretches across about 1/8 billion light years. That number is hard to picture because light travels almost 6 trillion miles in 1 year. Yet this giant region holds very little. There are almost no stars, almost no gas, almost no dust, and even very little dark matter. Looking into it is like opening a huge box and finding almost nothing inside. Nobody knows exactly why it exists. Some experts think it formed naturally over billions of years. Others wonder if there is something about the early universe that we still do not understand. Even today, the supervoid remains one of space's biggest mysteries. Now let's jump from one of the emptiest places to one of the busiest. The Tarantula Nebula sits about 170,000 light years from Earth, and it is the largest star nursery that astronomers know nearby. It stretches for more than 800 light years across. Inside this giant cloud, new stars are being born all the time. Bright light, thick gas, and powerful winds shape the whole area into one of the most beautiful sights ever captured by a telescope. It may look peaceful from far away, but it is one of the most active places in our part of the universe. Then came another surprise. In 2021, astronomers spotted the biggest comet ever seen entering our solar system. Its name is C 2014 UN-271, also called Bernardinelli-Bernstein. The icy center of this comet is about 85 miles wide. That is around 50 times larger than the center of the comet that held the old record. At first, scientists thought it might not even be a comet. It looked so huge that they first listed it as a small planet. Later, closer studies showed that it was covered with ice, making it the largest known comet instead. Even better, there is no danger to Earth. It will stay more than 1 billion miles away when it makes its closest trip in 2031. Still, one question remains. If we found one comet this large, could even bigger ones still be hiding in the dark between the stars? The surprises do not stop there. Scientists also think one of the strongest materials in the universe may exist inside dead stars. They call it nuclear pasta because its tiny shapes may look like spaghetti or lasagna. The funny name hides an unbelievable fact. Experts believe this strange material could be billions of times stronger than steel. Every new discovery tells the same story. The farther we look into space, the less ordinary it becomes. Giant planets, empty regions, glowing clouds, monster comets, and even space spaghetti remind us that the universe is always ready to surprise us with something we never expected to find. You might think nothing could get any stranger. It can. Some of the weirdest things in space are not giant at all. They are small enough to fit inside a city, yet they carry more weight than our sun. These objects are called pulsars. They form after huge stars explode and leave behind an incredibly packed core. That tiny ball spins at amazing speed while sending two beams of light into space like a giant lighthouse. One pulsar is even more shocking than the rest. It is called the Black Widow pulsar, and its name tells you almost everything. Just like the spider, this object slowly destroys its partner. A small brown dwarf star circles the pulsar, but it is not safe there. Powerful energy from the pulsar keeps pulling material away from its companion. Little by little, the smaller star is being eaten. Scientists have watched this strange system for years, and they believe the process will continue until very little remains. It is one of the clearest examples of how violent space can become. But here's where the story takes another turn. Not every strange world is trying to destroy something. Some simply refuse to look the way planets should. Meet Haumea. It is a dwarf planet that travels far beyond Neptune inside the Kuiper Belt. Unlike almost every other large world we know, Haumea is not round. It looks stretched, almost like someone squeezed it from both sides. That odd shape comes from one simple reason. It spins incredibly fast. A full day on Haumea lasts only about 4 hours. That makes it the fastest spinning large object in our solar system. Imagine Earth turning so quickly that one whole day was over before you finished breakfast. Yet its shape is not the biggest mystery. Astronomers discovered a thin ring circling Haumea. Rings are common around giant planets like Saturn, but finding one around a small dwarf planet was a huge surprise. Even today, nobody knows exactly how that ring formed. It may have appeared after a massive crash long ago, or it may have another story that scientists have not uncovered yet. That mystery reminds us of something important. Every time we think we have figured out space, another object appears and changes the rules again. The biggest planet, the strangest pulsar, and the fastest spinning dwarf planet all point toward the same truth. The universe is still keeping some of its best secrets hidden, and the next one is closer than you might think. One of those secrets is hiding in plain sight. About 25 light years from Earth sits a bright star called Fomalhaut. It is one of the brightest stars you can see in the night sky. At first glance, it looks like just another point of light. Through powerful telescopes, though, it becomes something far more strange. A huge ring of dust circles the star, making it look like one giant eye staring across space. That is why many people call it the Eye of Sorrow. The name sounds like it belongs in a movie, but the picture is real. Fomalhaut is more than twice as massive as our sun, and that glowing ring stretches across an unbelievable distance. Even today, scientists are still trying to understand everything happening around it. But if you think that looks amazing, wait until you see what comes next. Far beyond our solar system floats a cloud of gas that looks exactly like a giant butterfly. It is called the Butterfly Nebula, and it is one of the most beautiful objects ever found in space. Looks can fool you. Those colorful wings stretch for more than 3 light years. Inside them, powerful gas races away at incredible speed. At the center sits a white dwarf, the tiny remains of a giant star that once burned much brighter than our sun. That small star is unbelievably hot. Its surface reaches about 450,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The heat lights up the gas around it, making the whole nebula glow across space. Thick clouds spread out from the middle, creating the shape that gives the Butterfly Nebula its famous name. Scientists believe this amazing sight began after a much larger star reached the end of its life. As it ran out of fuel, it threw huge amounts of gas into space. Over time, those clouds formed the glowing wings we see today. It is beautiful. It is also a reminder that even stars do not live forever. Everything in space has a story. Some worlds are just being born, like AB Aurigae b. Others are reaching the end of their lives, leaving behind glowing clouds that will drift through space for millions of years. That endless cycle is happening right now. New stars are forming. Old stars are fading away. Giant planets are growing, while black holes keep pulling in everything around them. Every discovery fits into one much bigger picture. The universe never stands still. It keeps changing every second, whether anyone is watching or not. That is why every new telescope brings another surprise. Every mission answers one question, but creates 10 more. The deeper scientists look, the more they realize how much remains unknown. Maybe that is the greatest discovery of all. Not that we have found the biggest planet, the hottest star, or the strangest object. It is that every answer opens another door. Behind that door waits another mystery, another record, and another reason to keep looking toward the sky. That may be the biggest lesson from all these discoveries. For hundreds of years, people believed the universe followed a simple set of rules. Every new telescope seemed to support those ideas. Then better technology arrived, and suddenly those old answers started falling apart. Take AB Aurigae b again. Scientists once thought giant planets formed in only one basic way. Then they found a world that appears to be growing through a completely different process. That single discovery forced astronomers to ask new questions instead of celebrating final answers. The same thing keeps happening across space. Every time researchers believe they understand something, another object appears that refuses to fit the picture. One giant planet grows too fast. A dwarf planet wears a ring. A pulsar slowly destroys its partner. A comet turns out to be far larger than anyone expected. But none of those discoveries may be the most important one. The real breakthrough is learning how little we truly know. That might sound surprising, but it is exactly how science works. Every answer leads to another question. Every mission uncovers another puzzle waiting to be solved. Instead of reaching the end of the story, scientists keep finding new chapters. Think about where we started. We clicked on one giant planet because it sounded impossible. Along the way, we traveled past stars bigger than our whole solar system, black holes heavier than billions of suns, empty places stretching across billions of light years, glowing clouds where new stars are born, and strange worlds that seem to ignore every rule. Yet the journey still is not over. New space telescopes are already searching deeper than ever before. They are looking through thick clouds of dust, studying distant planets and collecting light that has traveled for millions of years before reaching Earth. Somewhere inside that light could be another surprise. Maybe astronomers will discover an even larger planet. Maybe they will finally settle the debate about GQ Loopy b. Maybe they will find a completely different kind of world that nobody has even imagined yet. That possibility is what keeps scientists searching. The universe does not hand over its secrets all at once. It reveals them one discovery at a time. Each answer brings another question, and each question pushes us farther into the unknown. That is why this story is much bigger than one planet. NASA's discovery is not simply about finding something huge. It is proof that the universe is still full of places we have never seen and ideas we have never tested. Somewhere beyond the stars, another mystery is waiting for the next telescope, the next mission, and the next person willing to ask one simple question. What if everything we think we know today is only the beginning? That question brings us right back to where this journey started. AB Aurigae b is not just another giant planet floating through space. Right now, it is giving scientists a rare chance to watch a world grow while it is still taking shape. That almost never happens. Most planets finished forming billions of years ago, leaving only clues behind. This one is still writing its own story. Every new observation adds another piece to the puzzle. NASA's Hubble Space Telescope and the Subaru Telescope will keep watching this young system closely. As better telescopes come online, astronomers hope to see even more details hidden inside the thick clouds of gas and dust. Those new images could show exactly how this giant planet is collecting material from the disk around its star. That could answer one of the biggest questions in astronomy. Did AB Aurigae b really form when a huge cloud of gas collapsed under its own weight? Or is something even stranger happening? Right now, nobody knows for sure. That is what makes this discovery so exciting. We are not looking at the end of a mystery. We are watching the mystery unfold. But there is one final twist. If one giant planet can rewrite the rules of planet formation, how many more are waiting to be found? The Milky Way alone holds hundreds of billions of stars. Many of them are surrounded by planets that no human has ever seen. Some may be larger than anything we know today. Others could form in ways that scientists have never imagined. The search has only begun. Every new telescope sees farther than the one before it. Every mission sends back better data. Every year brings discoveries that would have sounded impossible only a short time ago. That is why space never gets old. Just when we think we have reached the limit, the universe quietly moves the finish line again. A giant planet appears where nobody expected it. A black hole breaks another record. A strange world refuses to follow the rules. Then another surprise waits beyond that. The truth is, the universe is not running out of mysteries. We are simply getting better at finding them. Years from now, people may look back at the discovery of AB Aurigae b as the moment scientists realized they needed a new way to explain how giant planets are born. Or perhaps an even bigger discovery will replace it. That is the beauty of science. It never stops asking questions. So the next time you look up at the night sky, remember this. Somewhere out there, another world is forming. Another star is being born. Another mystery is waiting for someone to notice it. And the next discovery that changes everything may already be traveling across space, heading toward Earth at the speed of light, ready to surprise us all. Today, one giant planet reminded us that space still holds more questions than answers. Every discovery opens another mystery waiting to be solved. If you enjoyed this journey through the universe, subscribe now because the next amazing space discovery could change everything we thought we knew about our cosmos.